From the banks of the Allegheny, welcome to Film Bits, True Detective, Episode 7, Part 1. Wow, can't believe there's only 2 more left. Let's do it. I love that it also starts with Signs of the Judgment, which is the last thing we heard at the end of Episode 6 there. We hear that's the first sound we hear of Episode 7. Lovely bit of connective tissue. Marty and Rust are having that beer. First time in years that they've been together. Both older. They look beat up. They look like hell.
You look like you're doing all right.
Father Time has his way with us all. Say, you must have pissed him off. Why are we here?
Hey, you know that thing the state PD's asking about? The Lake Charles murder. You shouldn't have been in the papers or online somewhere by now. And we can't trust them. And I mean, they'll cover something like that up. Who knows what else they've covered up.
Still Rust after all these years, eh?
I think you don't look particularly healthy. Listening to you talk, your eyes seem kind of brittle, Rust.
Most of the last decade I spent stone drunk. Functional, but hammered. Went back to Alaska, spent 8 years working fishing boats, bars.
No, I thought you didn't like the cold.
I hate it. All right, and I come back here to Louisiana for the first time in 2010.
Why is that?
For the same reason. I'm sitting across the table from you now. A man remembers his debts.
I don't dwell in the past.
Well, it must be nice.
I'm not interested in whatever it is you think you owe me.
Oh, I don't owe you. We left something undone. We gotta fix it. I've been working on this for 2 years, myself. Never called you, I never bothered you with it.
Yeah, why would you? Shit, man, what did you alienate every other person in your life, and then finally you came back to me in the rotation?
You know, not for nothing, but if you wouldn't have clipped Ledoux back then, we might have got the whole fucking story out of him.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this beer and say so long. I'm not much of a drinker nowadays. In fact, I hadn't had a drop in 3 weeks till I ran into you.
Well, I don't need you to drink, Morty. I need you to help me.
Why would I? They say you can't account for your time. They got eyewitnesses placing you at the Lake Charles crime scene. You got some storage shed that you won't let them look at.
That's right.
Why not? Why not shoot straight with them? You're innocent. Help them stop wasting their time.
Fucking since when did guilt and innocence define a state PD, huh? Come the fuck on. I don't know the sprawl of this thing. Aren't the people I'm after, they're all fucking over. They're in a lot of different things. Pieces, family trees. The only way for you to understand what I'm on to.
It's taken 7 episodes for us to get a true discussion between Marty and Rust. Think about it. All the discussion that they've had in the past has been snippets in the car. A little bit more on the porch when Rust showed up drunk at Marty's house. A little bit at the locker room when Marty and Rust had their first altercation. They just haven't been portrayed as talking a lot. And one of the last talks they had before the fight was Rust telling Marty to type up his report, and that's how the relationship sort of has gotten to. Rust does all the work, finds all the clues, Marty types it up, he makes Marty look good. And now we're about almost 5 minutes in, so that's about 4 minutes of time of nothing but the two of them talking. All right? There's still stuff that hasn't been addressed, like Rust and Marty's wife. Like their fight. But Rust is putting that all on the back burner because he's into this case and he still needs, not wants, needs to find that killer. He feels that there's a debt there. He owes these girls that had died and who have definitely died between the point where they caught Ledoux and now when they thought that they had the real killer.
No, you know what? I don't think I've been very clear with you, Russ. If you were drowning, I'd throw you a fucking barbell. Why would I ever help you? Because you have a debt. You got some fucking sack.
That
What's that mean?
non-diegetic sound and music
Went down
coming in,
at
that True Detective sound.
This is on you too, buddy.
I love the way Russ looks like hell right now. He is from so clean to this.
What do you got to show me?
And Russ is pushing those buttons. Kids being killed. He knows Marty's weakness is kids and their health. Ah, the storage shed. See what the hell Russ has been up to for the last 2 years. You can only wonder. He crashes at the bar he works, but he'll pay monthly to have this shed. Marty's not quite sure, though. What if the cops are right? What if this is a trap for him? Marty's gonna get that piece, too. Just in case.
What you packing?
You thought it was on.
38.
Hollow Point?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
That'll do it. The Rust Cave.
Never be too careful.
It's a great shot right there. Great shot. Rust and his work. Still as obsessed as ever.
All right. Remember, there was no physical evidence connecting Dora Lang to Ledoux's place out in the woods. Meaning it probably didn't happen out there. Nobody was in a hurry to bring that up. 2, women and children going missing. All taken from areas within a 10-mile radius of schools that were funded by Tuttle's Wellspring Initiative.
Well, establish a connection. Who's in, who's out, you know? I mean, do people disappear in equal numbers in other parts of the state? How many schools were there?
14. Now, I've covered a surface area, all right?
Marty bringing a little game here.
Runaways in state and missing persons. And if you notice, there's twice as many along the bayous. I don't know why. Hell, someone should do a study as to why.
Now you're just throwing up stats.
Why was Tuttle so interested in the Lang case, huh? Remember Charlie Lang said what Ledoux told him? Said there's a group of men, sacrifices. Well, I think Tuttle recognized the scene. That's why he came down there in Jiminy Quick with the fucking task force, and that's why he tripped out when I talked to him in '02.
Okay, so what happened to him? I mean, I'm looking around here and I don't see or hear anything that doesn't make this all conjectural.
1988. Accusations of child molestation at a preschool funded by Tuttle. Name of that school is Shepherd's Flock. It shuts down, reopens 2 years later on Pelican Island under the name Light of the Way Academy, where Rhiannon Olivier went. And I got an enrollment list, 16 kids in the class. One of them turned out to be a young man who just showed up for solicitation in New Orleans.
Booyah. Russ have been busy and Rust is good.
His name is Toby Boulaire. Goes by the name of Johnny Joni.
Johnny Joni.
Shepherd's Flock. Why are you asking me about that place?
And after that place shut down, there was a lot of talk going around.
I love the shot and the lighting there.
Reverend Billy Lee Dillon.
Just the harshness of those
I think
fluorescent
so.
lights.
But who can remember way back? That's how it
Shot
all
reverse shot in our scene here. I was just doing some
I decided it all had to be a dream anyway.
recording for Seven, and there was a diner scene in there. There's not really a lot of ways you can do a diner scene as far as camera work between two
Sometimes I
people.
didn't feel like I was.
Shot reverse shot this over the shoulder. You got to put the camera somewhere, right?
I couldn't move.
Just
So we're over the shoulder there with Rust, and then back over the shoulder there with Johnny Joni.
I don't know. They
Love
were
that
men.
the duct tape on the cushion of the booth,
Other things.
grimy, dingy, just like everything else in this thing, except for
They had animal faces.
Tunnel's Ministry. That was pretty clean
That's
and
why I
pretty.
decided it had
A lot
to
of
be
money.
dream. They had animal faces. Well, it had to be a dream.
any other kids do this?
One girl. I don't remember
People with
her name.
animal faces.
She first started talking about it. She's seen it too. The faces. I do not remember her name.
Very fine, no.
Close up
Maybe.
though.
You ever see these men's faces?
Once. They didn't all have animal faces. 3 younger men. I don't remember them. Just one. He had bad scars all around his mouth, like the bottom half got all burned up. And you know what? I thought that meant it was a dream too.
No, I don't think it was a dream.
Camera wise, we went from that shot reverse shot over the shoulder to the tighter close ups to end that discussion. And we will cut back here to Marty in the Rust Cave, and that's where we're going to pick it up next episode. Okay, so episode 7, part 1 in the books. There's some good stuff coming. I know in part 2. We'll see you then.